The royal family has just confirmed heartbreaking news about Prince Andrew, and the world is already buzzing with speculation and emotion. For years, Andrew has been one of the most controversial figures within the monarchy, often making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But this time, the story is not about scandal or politics, it's about a personal, deeply moving development that has shaken both the palace and the public. The announcement, which came only minutes ago, has left many speechless. While the monarchy has faced countless storms in the past, this one feels different. It's not just about reputation or duty, it's about the human side of a prince who has spent much of his life in the shadows of controversy. Love him or loathe him, the truth is that this news has struck a chord because it reminds us that even those born into privilege are not immune to heartbreak. As the royal household grapples with this announcement, questions are already swirling. What does this mean for Prince Andrew's role within the family? How will the monarchy handle the wave of public reaction? And most importantly, what does this reveal about Andrew's life behind closed doors? Today we take a closer look at what has just been revealed, the ripple effects it could have on the monarchy, and why this moment may be one of the most defining in Prince Andrew's life. Just minutes ago, the royal family released a statement that has left the world in shock. Heartbreaking news about Prince Andrew. For years, Andrew has been one of the most divisive figures within the monarchy, once hailed as the war hero prince after his service in the Falklands War, and later disgraced by controversies that forever changed how the public sees him. But this time, the news was not about scandal, lawsuits, or public image. It was about something deeper, something far more human, that has reminded the world that even those living in palaces are not shielded from pain and heartbreak. The palace statement, according to royal insiders, was short and carefully worded, but the weight of it was unmistakable. Delivered with a tone of somber finality, it acknowledged that Prince Andrew is now facing a deeply personal and heartbreaking challenge, one that affects not only him, but the entire royal household. Unlike past statements crafted to manage reputation, this one carried the unmistakable ring of sorrow, as if even the palace's seasoned press officers could not mask the gravity of what was unfolding. Within moments, the news spread across the globe, dominating headlines and social media. Some were quick to express sympathy, remembering Andrew as a father to Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and as a man who, despite his controversies, has remained part of the Queen's family circle. Others were less forgiving, arguing that years of scandal have stripped him of public goodwill, making this announcement feel more complicated than straightforward grief. Still, what stands out is how this moment has humanized Andrew in ways few expected. For decades, his story has been dominated by power, privilege, and public scrutiny. Yet this announcement has forced people to see him not as the Duke of York or the Queen's son, but as a man facing pain and fragility. For King Charles, the timing could not be worse. His reign is still in its early stages, and he is working tirelessly to project unity, stability, and renewal within the monarchy. Now, the heartbreaking news about his younger brother threatens to pull focus, forcing the royal family to confront not only the personal cost of Andrew's struggles, but also the public consequences of how they respond. Behind the palace walls, sources suggest that the family is rallying around Andrew despite the divisions his past has caused. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, in particular, are said to be offering their father unwavering support, reminding the public that beyond the headlines, this is still a man deeply loved by his daughters. For the British people, the story is more complicated, but one truth is unavoidable. The monarchy, no matter how powerful, is not immune to heartbreak. The royal family's announcement has cast a fresh spotlight on Prince Andrew's life, revealing struggles that many suspected but few fully understood. For years, his name has been synonymous with controversy, but behind the public scandals lies a man who has faced mounting personal, emotional, and financial battles. The palace's statement, though restrained, hinted at the weight of these difficulties, painting a picture of a prince whose private struggles are as troubling as his public fall from grace. One of the most pressing challenges Andrew reportedly faces is his health. While the palace did not disclose specific details, those close to him have long whispered about the toll that stress and isolation have taken. The fallout from his public controversies has left him withdrawn, seldom appearing in public, and stripped of many of the duties that once defined his role within the monarchy. For a man who thrived on status and activity, the shift into near exile has been devastating. Financial strain has only deepened his difficulties. With his ties to royal duties severed, Andrew no longer receives the kind of support or income he once enjoyed. Legal fees, combined with the costs of maintaining his residence at the Royal Lodge, have left him in a precarious position. Even members of the royal household acknowledge privately that his financial situation has become a source of tension, adding to the sense of instability surrounding him. Yet perhaps the greatest struggle has been emotional. Once a figure of confidence and charm, Andrew now lives largely in the shadows, his reputation diminished and his presence at public events severely restricted. Friends say he feels forgotten, defined only by his mistakes, and uncertain about his future role in the monarchy, if he has one at all. The palace's announcement, somber in tone, seems to confirm that this emotional battle has reached a breaking point. For King Charles, the challenge is immense. On one hand, Andrew is his younger brother, a man he has known and cared for all his life. On the other, Andrew's struggles threaten to cast a shadow over the monarchy at a time when Charles is working tirelessly to rebuild public trust. The palace, according to insiders, is now carefully balancing compassion with caution, ensuring Andrew receives the support he needs while protecting the institution from further damage. Public reaction to these revelations has been divided. Supporters argue that, despite his missteps, Andrew deserves empathy as a man facing heartbreak and hardship. Critics, however, remain firm in their stance that he has brought many of these struggles upon himself, and that sympathy should not erase accountability. Still, both sides seem to agree on one point. The news confirms that Andrew is no longer the confident prince he once was, but rather a man deeply marked by the weight of his past. What becomes of Prince Andrew from here remains uncertain. The palace's careful wording suggests a family rallying behind him privately, but also one unwilling to fully restore him publicly. In the meantime, Andrew's struggles serve as a sobering reminder that even within the walls of the monarchy, where wealth and privilege seem untouchable, heartbreak and vulnerability can reach anyone. The announcement about Prince Andrew's heartbreaking situation has sent shockwaves through the palace, touching everyone from senior royals to long-serving staff. While the British public has been quick to react on social media and in the press, the palace itself has had to navigate a far more delicate and private crisis. Every statement, every gesture, and every decision is now weighed against the potential impact on both Andrew and the reputation of the monarchy. For King Charles, the news presents a uniquely challenging dilemma. As the reigning monarch, he must balance familial loyalty with the demands of public expectation. Charles has long been seen as a stabilizing force in the royal family, but Andrew's struggles threaten to draw attention away from his broader efforts to modernize the monarchy and restore trust with the public. Every move Charles makes now is scrutinized, with critics and supporters alike reading into his silence or cautious statements. The tension is palpable. How does a king protect a brother without compromising the institution he leads? Inside the palace, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are reportedly at the forefront of offering Andrew emotional support. Friends say the sisters have taken on the role of both caretakers and advocates, helping to shield their father from further public scrutiny while ensuring he receives personal and professional guidance. This has placed additional pressure on the younger generation, highlighting the responsibilities that often fall on royal children when older family members face crises. Staff and courtiers are also feeling the ripple effects. The palace is known for its hierarchy and discretion, but Andrew's situation has forced unprecedented levels of coordination and careful messaging. Every press release, every public appearance, and every internal conversation is being meticulously planned to protect both Andrew and the monarchy. The challenge is not only to manage a family member's personal struggles, but also to safeguard the institution's image in an era when scrutiny is relentless, and social media spreads news instantaneously. Beyond the walls of Buckingham Palace, other senior royals are quietly grappling with how to respond. Some have reportedly urged discretion, advocating for privacy and compassion, while others are more concerned with public perception and the potential fallout from renewed media attention. Even minor missteps could be magnified, creating challenges for an already delicate family dynamic. Public perception is equally complex. While some express sympathy, seeing Andrew as a man enduring deep personal hardship, others view the announcement as a reminder of past controversies, questioning why he remains a visible figure in any capacity within the royal family. This tension reflects a broader challenge for the monarchy, balancing humanity and empathy with accountability and transparency. Ultimately, the ripple effect of this news demonstrates that no member of the royal family exists in isolation. Andrew's struggles, though personal, reverberate through the entire institution. They test relationships, challenge the monarchy's image, and remind the world that even behind the grandeur of crowns and ceremonies, human vulnerability can touch anyone, no matter how privileged their life may seem. With the shocking announcement about Prince Andrew now public, questions loom larger than ever about his future within the royal family. For decades, Andrew's life has been defined by both privilege and controversy, and now, at what appears to be one of the most challenging moments of his life, the path ahead seems more uncertain than ever. How the monarchy responds will not only determine Andrew's personal trajectory, but could also influence public perception of the royal family as a whole. At the heart of the matter is Andrew's role in the family. Once a prominent figure carrying out royal duties, he has gradually retreated from public life following scandals that tarnished his reputation. The recent news compounds that retreat, signaling a period in which his visibility may be further limited. Insiders suggest that the palace is considering options to protect both Andrew's privacy and the institution's image, balancing compassion with caution. It is a delicate act, and one that underscores the challenges of maintaining a monarchy in the modern era. King Charles faces a particularly delicate task. As monarch, he must demonstrate leadership and empathy simultaneously, ensuring that Andrew receives the necessary support without reigniting public scrutiny. The royal family, historically adept at managing crises, now finds itself navigating the tension between human vulnerability and institutional reputation. Every statement, gesture, or appearance by Charles or other senior royals is carefully evaluated, revealing just how fragile the balance can be when personal hardship intersects with public duty. For Andrew himself, the coming months could be defining. Friends and aides indicate that he is leaning heavily on the support of his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who have reportedly been instrumental in guiding him through this difficult time. Their presence is a reminder that despite public controversy and familial pressure, Andrew remains deeply connected to his immediate family, which may serve as his anchor during this turbulent period. Public reaction will also play a significant role. Sympathy for Andrew may grow as the details of his struggles emerge, but skepticism is likely to persist, given his controversial history. The monarchy now faces the challenge of framing the narrative, balancing transparency and empathy while avoiding the appearance of favoritism or mismanagement. How effectively this is handled could influence not only Andrew's standing, but also the reputation of the royal family for years to come. Ultimately, the announcement serves as a stark reminder that even those born into privilege are not immune to hardship. Prince Andrew's future, uncertain and fraught with challenges, highlights the human side of the monarchy, an institution often perceived as untouchable. The coming weeks and months will reveal how the royal family navigates this delicate situation, balancing personal care with public expectation, and whether Andrew can find some measure of peace and stability amid the heartbreak that now defines this chapter of his life.